Welcome to the No Spin News, Wednesday, December 11th, 2024. Stand up for your country. So Secretary of State Blinken testified today in front of the House Foreign Services Committee. Blinken had dodged that for about a year because he knew he was going to be asked about Afghanistan. He has no answer. He'd blame it on Trump. But I want to read the transcript before I analyze Blinken. See, we're different than the cable news pinheads. They don't analyze anything. If you're a Republican, you think that Blinken's a moron. If you're a Democrat, everything's Trump's fault. We don't do that here. So I'm going to take some time and look at exactly what Blinken said. And tomorrow, I will analyze whether he's telling you the truth or not. Okay? I know a lot about this story. I was you might remember, in Afghanistan, reporting over there for a stretch, not a long time, but boy, we did a lot while we were there. And so I know the turf a little bit. I got a lot to tell you about today, a lot of different things. We have the Attorney General of South Carolina on, who's involved with two big stories, the trans ban for the minors and the undocumented migrants getting free health care in America. Two big emotional stories. So we're very pleased to have him. But first, the talking points memo is the fallout from Daniel Penny's acquittal. So you all know the story, I hope, by now. A 26-year-old former Marine riding a subway, May 1st, 2023. 30-year-old Jordan Neely, a mentally ill person, gets on, starts threatening people, screaming in their face. Everybody's afraid. Penny takes him down. Gets him in a hold, and this guy Neely dies. He had 42 arrests, including convictions of beating up two elderly people. He had drugs in his bloodstream. Jury found Penny not guilty of negligent homicide, and what was the other charge that he found him? Negligent homicide and manslaughter, second-degree manslaughter. Not guilty. We have to respect the jury. I've respected pretty much every jury except for the O.J. Simpson, and I'm going to tell you about that someday. That was ridiculous, what those people in Los Angeles did, but let's stay on this. Okay, so Penny himself, not a grandstander, but he did make a few statements about the situation. Roll the tape.
You know, this was a scary situation, and Mr. Yearly came on. He was threatening. I'm 6'2", and he was taller than me, so it was. And there's a common misconception that Marines don't get scared. We're actually taught one of our core values is courage. And courage is not the absence of fear, but how you handle fear. And, you know, I was scared for myself, but I looked around, I saw women and children. He was yelling in their faces, saying these threats. I couldn't just sit still.
Okay, jury bought it, not guilty. Now he has to face a civil lawsuit from the family of Jordan Neely, which is absurd. That family should be suing the state of New York, not Daniel Penny. Anyway, most Americans haven't ridden the New York City subway, but those of us who live here know it's dangerous. Okay, so far this year, 24, been more than 2,000 serious crimes committed on the subways. 2,000. 9 murders. Everybody knows that if you get in a subway car and there's a mentally ill, raving person, that person could have a knife. Because the mentally ill and the criminal element carry knives to defend themselves against other criminals, particularly if you're in the drug world. Everybody knows all this. So for Penny to step up, put himself at risk, that's pretty heroic. Most people, 90% of them, would not. Now, we Christians are taught to be good Samaritans, but something like this just wipes out that kind, because you're going to be thinking, well, if I help, if I get involved, I'm going to get punished. Thank you, Alvin Bragg, the DA, who should be fired immediately by Governor Hochul, but, you know, they're two peas in a pod, ideological pod, to use a cliche. But anyway, so it's dangerous. And people are on edge when they're going to work, coming home. A lot of people have to use the subways in New York City. Have to. It's not an option. And you get on there and you are powerless because the authorities in New York will not detain people like Jordan Neely. They just let them walk around hurting people. And that's been going on for years. Social order in New York City has collapsed because of the progressive leadership. The governor, the mayor, the DAs, they don't care. Couldn't care less about public safety. But the people voted them in. So anyway, I'm very worried about the cascade here of people not helping other people. And I'm a guy who gets involved when I see some wrong, but even me, if I'm facing a 30-year-old who's raving and screaming and I know there's odds are he might have a knife, it's a tough call. Now, what tilted me into Daniel Penny's corner was not ideology, it wasn't anything else. It was the testimony of a woman on the train with Penny. Go.
I think this guy was on drugs, because when he came in, he was unbelievably off the charts. He scared the living daylights out of everyone.
Now, that's just a regular person. Okay? That's not somebody who's got an agenda. Oh, come on. And finally, Penny's legal defense has raised about $3.5 million through the GoFundMe stuff. And that's because of generous people like you. So he's not going to be wiped out. But again, if you get involved with these things, you can get sued. You can, all kinds of things can happen to you. It wipes out the Good Samaritans. So Penny will be okay, I think. But his life will never be the same. And obviously, Jordan Neely, who desperately needed help, which his family didn't compel him to get, okay, he's in the grave. That's the memo. All right, let's go to the national scene. We got President Biden, the First Lady, having some kind of women's conference at the White House. Okay. Donald Trump not doing much today other than working at Mar-a-Lago. He is working. I talked to him yesterday. I'll give you a little preview of that conversation tomorrow. And he was really on his game. Donald Trump was on his game when I spoke with him yesterday. But he's going to the Army-Navy game on Saturday in Philly. And he might go to New York City. I hope he doesn't ride the subways. Another controversy involving President Trump. He wants to end birthright citizenship. He's not going to be able to do it. The president does not have that power. I'm going to walk you through this. So, the 14th Amendment to the Constitution says this, quote, all persons born and naturalized in the USA and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and the state wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property, that due process of law. 14th Amendment. And that was put in 1868 because slaves were being threatened. Former slaves freed by Abraham Lincoln in the North were being threatened in the South with expulsion, with all kinds of stuff. So Congress passed the 14th Amendment. That means you're born here, you're a citizen, even if your parents are illegal. Now, the only way to stop that so-called birthright citizenship is to overturn the 14th Amendment. There's two ways you can do it. 3/4 vote in the House and the Senate, which you'll never get today. That would never happen, okay, because the Democrats would stop it. Or 3/4 of the states themselves, state legislatures saying we want this amendment out. The last amendment overturned was prohibition, 1933. That's how difficult it is to overturn it. So this birthright citizenship is not going to end. And that's just the way it is. That's our Constitution. All right. Two interesting federal court cases that we're going to have the Attorney General of South Carolina comment on, I hope. First is Tennessee. So in Tennessee and other states, the law bans medical treatments such as puberty blockers and hormones for people under the age of 18 experiencing gender dysphoria, okay, if those treatments are prescribed to help them transition. So if you're a minor in Tennessee and South Carolina and other states, you can't get this treatment. I like the law because kids make foolish decisions all the time. However, a married couple, Samantha and Brian Williams of Nashville, Tennessee, they are fine with their 15-year-old daughter transitioning. All right. So she is a transgender girl, and they want her to continue with all of this puberty blockers and stuff like that. They've sued. The Biden administration has backed them. Justice Department is backing the lawsuit against Tennessee. You know, and this is why Kamala Harris lost. This is why Joe Biden's going to go down in history as the second worst president of all time. This just doesn't make any sense, in my humble opinion. The other case is undocumented migrants getting free government health care, Obamacare. Okay, so this has been blocked now by U.S. District Court Judge in North Dakota, Daniel Traynor. He basically says if you are in this country illegally, you are not to get free health care paid for by the government, state or federal. Today's economic climate, very stressful, as you know, but with the Fed finally dropping interest rates, there's no better time to put you and your family in a better financial position. As a homeowner, American Financing can help you free credit card debt by using equity. They've already helped thousands of families just like yours. On average, American Financing saves borrowers more than $800 a month. That's like a $10,000 raise in the marketplace. Better yet, it costs nothing to find out how much you can save. They are even closing some in as little as 10 days. And if you start today, you may not have to make next month's mortgage payment. There's no better time to turn your situation around. Please call today, 888-462-9557. 888-462-9557, AmericanFinancing.net. Okay, I got a commentary on YouTube. We have our own YouTube channel, youtube.com/Bill O'Reilly. I'm going into the migrant thing. Very micro. Here's what has to happen to solve this vexing problem. So I hope you check that out. Let me know what you think. Bill@BillO'Reilly.com. Bill@BillO'Reilly.com. Name and town if you wish to opine. Still getting letters with no town. Name and town. All right, we got the mail, but I have my paper out of order. Now I will put this aside, and now I have the mail in front of me. You know, anchoring a news show, not easy. We got Norman Mangold, Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. O'Reilly, when do you think Joe Biden will pardon other family members? Last day in office. Biden took so much heat for Hunter that it's the last day that Jim will get his, and maybe others, I don't know. But then it's goodbye, Joe Biden, see you. And that's when the pardons usually come down, the last day. So these guys don't have to take a lot of heat, they're gone. Phil Coco, Middletown, Connecticut. Bill, thanks for answering the question about Mike Pompeo. We saw so much of J.D. Vance before the election. Now he's out of sight. What's happening with him? Two things. He's being used to lobby Republican senators to confirm President Trump's nominees, cabinet nominees. Vance is right in the middle of that. And you're not going to see that because those are mostly private meetings. And he was down looking in North Carolina at the FEMA situation, all that. So what was going to happen with, I think, with J.D. Vance is that he'll be a troubleshooter. So his boss, Donald Trump, will say, look, J.D., you go here, you feel talk to him, come back and report. I think that's what it's going to be. And then there's a very good chance that one vexing problem will be assigned to him, like Kamala. Remember, Kamala was the root causes of the border? She hated that, by the way. And Vance will get something that he likes. David Hasway, Hendersonville, North Carolina. Hey, Bill. J.D. Vance was in Western North Carolina recently to view hurricane damage. Since he and President Trump are not sworn in yet, are taxpayers paying for the travel? No. Political action committees on the Republican side pay for all of the Trump stuff now. That will not kick in until he is sworn in as president, the federal stuff. William Lowen's, Estero, Florida. Bill, how much money do you figure David Penny will owe his lawyers? And do you think his life will ever get back to normal? I think his life will get back to normal, but he'll always have it, But psychologically, that's got to be brutal. Brutal. I estimate the lawyers' fees, $2.5 million. And the GoFundMe and all that will cover it. And the money that isn't going to legal fees is going to be donated to mental health charities, I understand. So they're responsible. This whole thing was run very well by Penny's lawyers. Very responsible. Susan on the message board, all the folks in prison since J6 need to be released. I disagree. You violent that day, you hurt somebody, attacked a cop, went to somebody's office, trashed it, you gotta pay, another cliche, the piper. But if you're just wandering around and you got caught up in it, it should be reviewed. You got to be reasonable here. John, concierge member, I hope President Trump reads your suggestion for the January 6th pardon process. My suggestion, in case you did not read the message of the day, which you should every day, got a good Christmas message today. On the BillO'Reilly.com message of the day, it's pretty funny. What we do here at the O'Reilly House. But anyway, my suggestion was President Trump assigned a 3-judge panel. It's 1,500 cases, approximately. And the panel goes over the cases. All the transcripts are there. So it doesn't take a long time. And says yes to the pardon, no to the pardon. They don't have the power, but they advise President Trump. That's my solution to it. I think that's fair. Vincent, how about all the rioters, looters, and arsonists who destroyed cities after the George Floyd death? Whataboutism? We don't do that here. And you should never do it. Each issue stands on its own. Whataboutism? Now, let me address the Floyd riots. State beefs. That's nothing to do with it. Okay? Justice Department has nothing to do with it. Unless Antifa crossed state lines and incited. And under Biden, there was no investigation of that at all, and it's probably too late now to do one. Some states, very tough on rioters and looters. Other states like Minnesota, hello there, Governor Walz, they don't care. Burn the place down. Minneapolis still hasn't recovered. Seattle, Washington hasn't recovered. Will they ever recover those cities? Maybe not. That's what happens when you allow anarchy. But no whataboutism. Take each issue separately, analyze it. Don't make excuses based on what other people did. I used to do that all the time with the nuns. Why are you yelling at me? Clement did that. Oh, come on. David, concierge member, we continue to suggest that concierge membership be a great gift. You get direct access to me if you got a problem or you want more information about something. Within 24 hours, we will get back to you. My team becomes your team. Concierge membership, BillO'Reilly.com. David, for my money, the only bias meter that would make any sense within the LA Times newsroom would be a desk for Bernie Goldberg. Goldberg doesn't want to move to LA. I can tell you that right now. He's got a nice life here on the East Coast. But your spirit is correct. You can't change the culture of a news agency unless you bring in a wide variety of points of view. LA Times, they're all zombies, all left-wing zombies. That's why the paper is just crashed and burned. But the bias meter, I'm watching it. I want to see how that works. Bill Coyle, Berkeley Heights, New Jersey. I've read all the killing books except Killing England and Killing Reagan. Well, get on that, Bill. All were great, but Killing the SS really moved me. Excellent work by you and Mr. Dugard. Killing the SS, tough book. But if you really want to understand what happened in Germany, it's a must read. Very vivid. But we appreciate it, and we'll tell you about all of the killing books in one bundle in a moment. David Parr, Hardin, Kentucky, finished Confronting the Presidents. Wonderful read. Wish this book was in all our schools. I don't know why it isn't. Because it's not a hard book to read for the high school kids. And then you learn about all the presidents. It's not boring. But why wouldn't the school boards? And we're still, that idiot school district in the panhandle of Florida, still banning killing Reagan. So a lot of these school boards are just nuts. But if I'm a teacher, a history teacher, as I was, I'm bringing in Confronting the Presidents. And your kid will like it too. I'd say 13 and up on that book. All right. Word of the day, don't be a snollygoster. One of my favorite words, SNOLLYGOSTER. Now we go to the Christmas store. Hello, Christmas store. Not woke gear. I'm going to deal with that in the final thought. But I want to show you what we have. And in the final thought, please put my picture and Holly the Terror Dog's picture, giving my producers a heads up. So not woke gear is basically the most popular items we have ever had. Shirts, mugs, bumper stickers. And this is our best-selling book item this year, the full Killing series, all 13 books, plus Confronting the Presidents for one very fair price. That's 14 gifts. It'll wipe out your gift list. The people that you like, not going to cost you a lot of money. Everyone will like the books, you know, and if you want to build a home library, there you go. And then we have a very special limited edition of Killing Patton. I gave this book as a present yesterday to one of my friends, and the guy was just thrilled with it. This is a leather bound, and this is a special gift for somebody who's helped you out this year. All right, so that's BillO'Reilly.com. Christmas and Hanukkah store. Back with a final thought about the definition of woke. MyPillow's Christmas extravaganza underway. Some items are on sale for the first time in more than a year, like the famous My Slippers. Wore them this morning, $59.98. Plus the same price, you can get the flannel sheets. Great bargain. And for a limited time, the best-selling 6-piece towel set is available for just $29.98. Amazing. With hundreds of MyPillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list, from bathrobes to quilts, down comforters, and more. Please go to MyPillow.com or call 1-800-869-0298. Use promo code BILL. Save on all MyPillow products. Plus, MyPillow has made the deal even sweeter. Their 60-day money-back guarantee is now extended until March 1st. And all orders over $75 ship free. Head to MyPillow.com or call 1-800-869-0298. Use promo code BILL today. By now you have heard me talk about Delta Rescue. They are a fantastic organization that helps rescue animals from the wilderness. You know I'm a dog lover, so is Leo Grillo, the founder of Delta Rescue. It is his life's mission to provide everlasting care for these once abandoned animals. I myself have donated to Delta Rescue. Do you believe it is part of man's duty to care for dogs and horses, the animals that so much of our history is tied to? If so, please consider making a donation or consult your advisor about leaving a gift in your will or trust. There can be some tax advantages, and it's a great way to help Delta Rescue accomplish their mission. So please visit deltarescue.org to learn more. That's deltarescue.org. Okay, here's a final thought of the day. So, as we just said, are not woke gears flying out of here. But what exactly is woke? So there's a definition of it. Okay? Aware of and actively attentive to important societal facts and issues, especially racial and social justice. That's from the Merriam Dictionary, Webster Dictionary. Okay? All right. But what does that really mean? If you are woke, there are two things it means. You are virtue signaling. You are trying to convince people that you are a noble human being, that you have compassion, that you are a special, sensitive person. Okay, that's what it is. It's personal. There's also, I'm better than you. because I want all the illegal migrants to be happy and to have everything, and their people too, but you want to restrict them. So I'm a better human being than you. That's built into this. That's what virtue signaling is. All right? So these people, they don't regard any kind of reality, no unintended consequences at all by an open border, how much suffering and how badly it's damaged the country. It doesn't even, no, I'm compassionate. I'm woke because I'm just superior to you. Where is this on display more? There are 2 places in the country. If you go there, you will see this all day long. Boston, Massachusetts. Just pick up the Boston Globe. Okay? Woke all day long. Not the workers, not the blue collars. They have the common sense up in Boston. But there's, and Los Angeles, California. I don't count San Francisco because that's a totally socialist, communist situation there. It's much more complicated. But Los Angeles, particularly in the entertainment community, and you know who they are. But always so enlightened. We're so enlightened. So my suggestion is, if you know somebody who's woke and you don't like that person, they're annoying, just send them a not woke tea. Anonymously, just drop it in their mailbox. They'll be so annoyed. I mean, you would like, and blame it on me. You know, I got the shirt. You throw it up there with me. There I am. Look at that. We have a navy blue too. And the terror dog will not go to sleep without the not woke tea. It's a not woke corgi. I'm exploiting Holly the terror dog, but it's for a good cause. We're paying our people very well this year. Okay, that's it for us. Thank you for watching and listening to the No Spin News. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching the No Spin News. To watch the full episode anytime on BillO'Reilly.com, please sign up to become a premium or concierge member. Visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today.